Website hosting is an online service that allows you to publish your website files onto the internet. So anyone who has the access to the internet has access to your website and participate. It usually refers to the service you get from a web hosting provider like one.com. While you can theoretically host an actual server if your website home relying on a web hosting service provider offer lots of benefits. In summary, companies like US rent out servers and technologies to host your website on the internet. Once you have chosen your domain name and sign up to the hosting plan, then your website is accessible on the internet. When you use web hosting service, your web host is responsible for making sure your server is up and running. Not only that, but it's also a host job to prevent any security breaches and store all your files, assets, and database onto the server. Shared hosting is when a web hosting provider hosts a number of different websites on the name's server. It is the most affordable form of hosting because you share the same server, so you split cost. If you are looking to start a blog or have business that just starting up, then shared hosting is a good option. In the past, sharing a server could lead to a problem where spike in traffic to resource users from a single site would slow down its neighboring website. However, these days web hosting subscription come with a genius amount of resource that ensure good performance. WordPress hosting simply means hosting that has been optimized for WordPress on a server level to ensure smooth sailing. VPS standard for virtual private server like share hosting. Websites that run on a VPS share a physical server with other website. However, each VPS tenant has its own partition with granted dedicated resources that offer more many storage and processing power available with the price tag too much. VPS hosting is recommended for highly experienced users with server management skills. VPS customers have not access to their partition and can configure their server software. For example, CentOS or Windows Server. This provides a high level customization to run web apps built for these systems. You might come across business hosting or premium hosting, which are generic terms that some hosting providers associate with VPS hosting managed by their in-house experts. However, level of support, subscription details, and price vary significantly, so make sure you research these servers thoroughly before signing up. Dedicating hosting. Dedicating hosting means you have that entire server to yourself. It gives you access like a VPS, but you don't have to share the server with other sites or apps. Effectively, you are listening leasing a physical web server host at your service provider facility. You also have professional support and expertise on hand when needed. These top-end web hosting is only warranted for highly demanding experiments grabs websites. Small and medium-sized business do not need to spend thousands each month to rent a dedicated web server for their business. Cloud hosting. These days, cloud hosting has become a bit of a newbies terms, so we would strongly recommend like looking closely to what you are getting if you are signing up for cloud hosting. In the beginning, cloud hosting referred to VPS setup scalable to multiple servers. This way, if your web application had a sudden traffic spike and the system would be able to provision more resource and keep things running smoothly. Cloud hosting would have more variable pricing model and fleet space as result. However, has the property of cloud computing has served. Some companies have started to go option the term for their regular shared or VPS hosting. Other providers like Amazon Web Service or Microsoft Azure offer cloud computing service. We usually include cloud hosting in an era of other advanced tools for cloud-based operation. While possible, hosting a typical website with one of these operating millions of servers can present a high technical hurdle. Any limitations on bandwidth and traffic? Some web hosts charge extra once you hit a certain number. Built-in website builder or one-click WordPress installation that make it easy for you to get your website online quickly. Generous amount of storage, especially nowadays with big media files taking up lots of space. Email hosting bundled with your website hosting plan. Many providers charge extra per email account or email hosting in general. Variety of domain registration service that make it one-stop shop. Having your domain registered with one provider and hosted with another is a hassle. Your website hosting cost will vary by provider. Technically, you can use a free web hosting service, although we recommend avoiding them. By optioning for free hosting, many encounters problems such as unwanted advertising on your page and their domain name in your URL. When you pay for web hosting, you are in full control of what content is on your website. Bandwidth and disk space. Free web host will give a lower bandwidth and limited disk space to their user. Paid with hosting can offer unlimited bandwidth and disk space. Unlike paid web hosting, with free hosting, the number of images and videos you can upload is limited. Paid web hosting usually comes with much higher security. By using a free web hosting provider, you have a high risk of a security breach. This means your customer credit card information and other data can be stolen. Free hosting provider will give you domain name with their name in URL. When you use paid hosting providers, you will get a customer URL and can choose your domain name. Free web hosting service often overload, which means you may have to wait through a few hours of scheduled downtime. Paid hosting providers offer high speed driver with guaranteed uptime.